Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Willis, and welcome back to You Will Love AP Gov. Thanks for joining me for another video on one of the required Supreme Court cases for AP US Government. Today's video is all about Gideon versus Wainwright, a pivotal Supreme Court case that expanded the rights of the accused and reinforced the importance of due process under the Constitution. If you're taking notes for your AP class or prepping for the AP exam, remember to click on the link below and download the free guided notebook page to make it easier to follow along. Let's dive right in. In 1961, a poor drifter with an 8th grade education named Clarence Earl Gideon was arrested in Panama City, Florida. He was charged with breaking and entering with the intent to commit petty larceny, a felony under Florida law. When he appeared in court, Gideon asked the judge to appoint an attorney for him, stating that he lacked the resources to hire one. However, under Florida law at the time, only defendants facing the death penalty in capital cases were guaranteed court-appointed counsel, so the judge denied his request. Gideon was forced to represent himself in court. Despite making an effort to cross-examine witnesses and present his own defense, he lacked the legal training to adequately do so. He was quickly found guilty and sentenced to 5 years in prison. From his prison cell, Gideon began studying the law and decided to file a handwritten petition to the U.S. Supreme Court, arguing that his Sixth Amendment right to counsel had been violated. He contended that this right should apply to state courts through the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause. The key question before the Supreme Court was, does the Sixth Amendment's guarantee to counsel in criminal trials apply to defendants in state courts through the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause? In a unanimous 9-0 decision, the Supreme Court held that the Sixth Amendment right to counsel is a fundamental right essential to a fair trial. Therefore, it must be applied to state courts via the 14th Amendment. This decision overturned the court's earlier precedent in Betts v. Brady, which had allowed states to decide when to appoint counsel. Justice Hugo Black delivered the majority opinion, writing that the right to counsel is not a luxury, but a necessity. He emphasized that even a defendant with intelligence and education could not adequately defend themselves against the expertise of a trained prosecutor. Black reaffirmed his belief, first expressed in his dissent in Betts v. Brady, that fair trials cannot exist without the aid of a lawyer. Gideon v. Wainwright fundamentally reshaped criminal justice in America. It established the principle that all defendants in felony cases, regardless of wealth, are entitled to legal representation and ensured that the promise of a fair trial applies to everyone. Today, the legacy of Gideon continues to influence debates over the adequacy and funding of public defense. While the right to counsel is guaranteed, ensuring quality and access remains a challenge in many jurisdictions. Nevertheless, Gideon v. Wainwright remains a fundamental case for understanding due process, equality before the law, and the constitutional commitment to justice. And that's everything you need to know about Gideon v. Wainwright. You can click here for additional videos for AP US Government. And be sure to check out my videos on AP Macroeconomics and AP Microeconomics as well. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on AP Government and Economics. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on You Will Love AP Gov.